Today's workout is a workout that I honestly don't think it can be called a workout, just because I feel that this is something that is a little more adequate to those days when you don't feel like necessarily working out, but that you still want to get a little bit of movement in your body, per se, just some flowiness and some stretching, and just get your blood flowing, but not in a kind of like intense or hit kind of workout. And I always like to stretch. It just makes me feel like I'm putting my body into movement in a way where I'm listening to it. I feel that my body just pretty much, if I want to work out glutes one day or legs or arms, it does what I ask it to do. But when I stretch this way, it just feels that I'm listening to my body instead, and I am allowing it to flow in a way in which it feels comfortable and relieving at the same time. So I usually take a few minutes to stretch and warm up before any workout. And there are, contradicting theories about this, about if you should stretch and warm up before a workout, or if you should just warm up and not stretch. I personally think that it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. I think that it's more of how you're feeling that day. I do like to stretch and, get a little flowy before any workout, because I feel that it awakens my muscles. And sometimes it feels like my joints and ligaments and muscles and bones are a little bit stiff. And these kinds of stretches and movements kind of, relax them and get them going and ready. This squat right here is a very, very, very slow squat. And it's just pretty much to activate the lower portion of the body, which is something that I tend to gravitate a little more. I tend to work out my lower body or focus on it a little more than my upper body. Just because I have a little bit of a knee problem, and I feel that I need to strengthen or keep my muscles, or my leg muscles and glutes and hamstrings and quads and thighs and all of my lower half muscles a little more stronger. Of course, everything is important. The core is very important. The word says it itself. It's the core of the body, and every movement is impacted by the core, or the core is impacted by every movement, as well as the arms. But I do focus a little more on my lower part of the body. And like I said, I am just pretty much kind of going with the flow here, and it really feels good listening to your body and just kind of, swinging around a little bit. It feels good. It feels good. Sometimes I'll do like a yoga session. Sometimes I'll just listen to whatever my body feels like stretching a little more that day, maybe. And the next one is going to be using a chair. If you have mobility issues or some sort of injury, this is something that you want to consult before doing it, or feel comfortable, or know that you feel comfortable doing it. And as well as this kind of like runner stretch of just standing up. This feels so good on the hamstrings and the glutes as well. Just kind of switching sides here and showing you a different angle as well. And if I'm lifting my left leg, I kind of try to touch the outer part of my left ankle with my right hand, as you can see here. And this is just the runner poses again. Always, make sure that you have the posture in which you feel comfortable. Never push your body a little more than what it feels comfortable doing, especially when it comes to stretching, just because it can be contradictive. You might injure yourself instead of, helping it wake up. And this is just another very slow squat, kind of like the one that we did a little bit ago, except I'm using a chair here to kind of demonstrate, you know, if you're still working up on your balance, this really helps. Or if you have, you know, a little bit of knee issues, it really helps support your body weight. Okay, I am focusing a little bit on a bar workout today, and I am lifting my toes, touching my my heels, and bending my knees. Moving one leg forward, making sure to keep my hips tucked in and my core engaged. Lower an inch and up an inch and down an inch. Now this might put a little bit of pressure on your knees if you don't feel comfortable doing it, or if you're not used to doing it as well. I have an injury, like I said before, and I feel completely fine doing it. But just kind of listen to how you feel, and you will start feeling the burn on your thighs and on your quads. I promise you, your glutes. This kind of works everything, and your tippy toeing as well. So, yes, you're working out your entire legs. Next, we are going to swing our hips, kind of tuck our hips from right to left and then center. Tuck, tuck, and tuck. When you're tucking in the center, make sure that you're tucking your hip bones, that you're tucking kind of like from your tailbone. And right here, all that I'm doing is showing you a different angle and switching legs. So tippy toes, heels touching. First of all, you do tippy toes, or right, and then you bend your legs. Okay, 1 foot forward, and again, core engaged, hips tucked in, and we lower and lower. As you can see right there, I kind of adjusted my foot to where it feels comfortable, because that's the knee that I have a little bit of an issue with. And again, I am listening to my body here very closely. This really helps with balance as well. The chair helps you balance, but it really helps your balance as well. And after I do my rep of 10, I pulse down for 10, 2, and again, tucking to the right, tucking to the left, and then tucking to the center. If you can see, I'm tucking my entire hip. This is helping you work on glutes, your abs, and your legs as well. You will feel the burn, trust me. Again, heels touching, tippy toes, flex your knees. Most of the workouts, their workouts, consist of tippy toeing, just because it's something a little more focused on the ballerina kind of routine. And we are going to point our toes. Point your toes and lift your leg, making sure that your knee is aligned with your hip as well. We're going to switch the direction of our toes. Now we are having a flat foot, and we're pushing. We're not so much lifting per se, we're kind of pushing back a little more. You will feel the burn here on the base of your glutes. Trust me, if you do this without stopping, you feel the burn right about now. We're doing circles in one direction, and then we're switching to the opposite direction after a count of 10. Always maintaining our other foot on our toes. Now we're just going to go ahead and switch sides again. Heels touching, tippy toe, bend your knees. We're going to kind of, wrap around our other leg and pointing our toes. We are lifting, and our knee is parallel to our hip. Just kind of lift, switch the direction of our toes. Now we have a flat foot, and we're pushing. We're kind of pushing our heel towards the sky. And next, we're just going to go ahead and do our circles towards one direction. I do find that for some reason, I don't know if this happens to everyone, you'll have a little bit of trouble with or more trouble with one leg or another leg, depending on the exercise that you're doing. So that's that's just the case for me. We go back to our standing position. We shake it off because by now your legs are burning. This looks very simple, but trust me, you feel the burn and it feels really good. I actually really like it. So now we are touching our heels again, tippy-toeing, and we are going to place our thighs towards the ceiling, if that makes sense in a way. Make sure that our thighs are pointing towards the ceiling and we are lifting. Now we're doing circles in either direction because we're going to go back and switch sides. Without lowering the leg, try to do it one right after another. This one right here I really like. You're releasing your knee and then you're tightening your leg and stretching it at the same time. It's just a small release of the knee and then tightening the whole leg. And by now the burn is real. Okay, now we are going to switch sides. I'm just going to turn around to show you a different angle, and because, well, I need to do it to switch sides as well. So it's heels touching, tippy toes, bend your knees, and we're going to lift our leg towards the sky with our thighs pointing outward, or upward per se. Now it's a circle our legs. You can try to do the smallest circles possible and you will feel such a good burn. Just switching sides or direction of our circles. And then we're just going to go ahead, and I just realized that I skipped on this video the releasing of the knee and tugging in of the leg. This is kind of like a sumo squat, but it's, I believe it's called a plie in ballet terms. So we're going to kind of do a plie, but we are just pretty much tippy toes, heels down, tippy toes, heels down without touching the floor entirely. Now we are keeping the same position, just bringing our heels down and doing small pulses down, up an inch and down 1 inch. Heels together and our toes apart. Now we are going to just do a squat with our heels as close as possible and tippy-toeing. We start high and then we kind of switch or lower down a little bit more. Now we are switching it up to the upper portion of our body, working our shoulders using resistance bands. These are amazing tools for when you are doing a home workout. And there's different types of resistance. This is a little bit of a strong one, so I'm using this for my shoulder, pretty much applying a little bit of resistance or full resistance with one arm and pulling with the opposite one. This is focusing on our shoulders. And when you are doing this, just make sure that you're using a band with resistance that you feel comfortable with, and just kind of work your way up from there. Next, we are doing one that focuses on our triceps, and we are applying pretty much the same technique. We are holding it with one hand and pulling it with the opposite hand. This is a band that has a little less tension, a little less resistance, and you will feel how it is working on your tricep. You can see the sweat is existing now. Okay, so our next one is pretty much we're holding a band with our foot. This is a band that is got a little bit even less resistance, just so that I'm able to stretch it all the way up. And we are keeping our core engaged, and our knees, you can't see it on this video, but our knees are not locked in. They have a natural bend to them. And this one is focusing on our biceps. It'll help tone up our biceps. So again, core has to be engaged. Your knees a little bit of a natural flex, and make sure that your elbow is maintained in the same position, kind of like right in the center between your back and your abdomen. Hope that you enjoyed this quick but effective workout. Thank you for watching and enjoy your workout.